Turn that off. Oh, look at all the people in here already. Hi, everyone. Let me catch up on all of this chat. Holy, I really love that I can set these broadcasts up this early, so everybody is in here. How is everybody today? I'm going to trade out my chair. Oops. So we got Dawn and Cheryl and Diane and Rhonda, Annie, Cheryl, I think I said that. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, no, Cynthia. You've lost your membership badge. That must be because you accidentally deleted your account. You love my hair. Thank you, Cheryl. It's a little bit dark right now. I get it done this really dark auburn because in 3 weeks it fades to the perfect shade. So I always hate it the first couple days because it's so dark, but that's okay. Hi, Rhonda. It's snowing here. It's like -11 and it's snowing. We usually don't get snow here until just before Christmas, so I'm really unhappy, especially because we're getting a new roof next week. That should be fun. Depending when the roofers come, it may be while we are in class, so we may have a little bit of banging, but I need a new roof. Trust me, my roof looks terrible. Okay, let me just get everybody's marked down. So I have Dawn. We do have a couple new members. We'll see if they join us, and then we can introduce ourselves to them. Diane, so far it just looks like our regular people. Annie. Cheryl I have. Wanda. Oh, I got something in my eye. Cynthia. I think I got everybody. So far I have Annie, Cynthia, Dawn, Diane, Rhonda, Cheryl, and Wanda. 70s in Illinois. Alexa, what's 70 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
70 degrees Fahrenheit is about 21.1 degrees Celsius.
Cheryl, that's the perfect temperature. I like between 21 and 25. That's my happy place. You love the color now, Rhonda? It's not natural, but yeah. Again, the blonde in it is my natural. And then this red, not so much. Strawberry blonde, naturally. Oh, okay, Cynthia. Hi, Lauren. Welcome. Who's excited for this bag? I better grab the bag. Did everybody see that the tutorial is up? Talk about waiting. I just got it up like a couple hours ago. And this is the tutorial bag. I love this. Oh, Cheryl, you brag. Washed your windows and jet sprayed your porch. I'm jealous. Oh, I forgot to put my sweater on. Oh well, that's okay. Once we get a few more in, we'll give it about 5 minutes or so. I'll explain some of the things that I changed in the pattern, some of the things that I learned in this pattern. Quite a bit to get through today. I'm hoping to get everything cut out, but I'm also hoping to prep the connectors for those that will be edge painting. I will be changing the connectors, both the side connectors here, these ones, and these connectors here. I will be doing as raw edge like I've done here, and I will want those to be, we will need those to be edge painted for next class. Hi, Lexi. I just found doing the edge painting way was a lot easier than having to fold everything in. And I think having the double layer of vinyl throughout just helps give them a little extra stability and security. But you're more than welcome to follow along with the pattern and do it the way it's written in the pattern. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm just going to show you the way that I have chosen to do it. You like my dice zipper pull? So this is Mormino Critical Dice fabric. This vinyl I don't get very much from the States, but this was gifted to me from a subscriber. You know who you are. Thank you. I just love it. Lauren's vinyl is just amazing. This is the last of it though. I'm all out now. Cry. And then these dice that I have on it, they are from RC Threadcraft up here in Canada. I was so excited to find them on there, and they are super heavy, I tell ya. So yeah, this one, I'm hopeful. This will be the only time I'll be able to show it in class, because I will be taking it to market with me on Sunday, hoping that it sells. So I will have it in class as long as it doesn't sell, but I'm really hopeful that it will sell at the big market this Sunday. So we'll wait and see. I might not sell anything. I don't know. I'm so nervous. First time doing domestic in months. Uh-oh, Cheryl. Hi, Kathy. Oh, you're on your domestic machine, Cheryl? Lots of us coming in today. So new member in this group that may pop in. Actually, we have two. We have Lynn and Joanne. I don't think either of them are here yet. Hi, Nicole. But for when they watch later, please make sure you welcome Joanne and Lynn in the chat. So happy to have them here. So when they watch replay and they see the chats, then they will know that we love them. So everybody please say hi to Joanne and Lynn. Oh, Cheryl, domestic cleaning. Yeah, I don't do that. That's what I have kids for. Wow, grown man children. They have to earn their keep somehow, so. That's hilarious. I automatically went domestic machine. I love it. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm hoping to get everything cut out. There's actually not that many pieces to cut out for this. And then I want to get the connectors prepped. Again, I'm doing the connectors different because I'm going to do them raw edge, and that's what I'm going to show here. So the instructions on how to do them non-raw edge are super easy as well. So you just have to follow along in the pattern to do that. But in this class, you know how much I love my Giardini edge paint, and really I just love, I don't know if you can see it here, the look of the shine of my gloss and everything on. I don't know, I just think it makes it look so pretty. So I edge paint whenever I can, even on these. See, I did the edge paint on these ones as well. I think it just looks so nice. Yay! I'm excited! Yay, everybody's welcoming Joanne and Lynn. I'm hoping that they will pop in, but if they don't, this is your welcome, ladies. Welcome. So thank you, everybody, for your feedback on the poll about starting that other tier. I am happy to say that this Thursday group, after 6 months of exclusivity, class exclusivity to the Tuesday group, will have access to the live replays for the Tuesday classes once those classes hit 6 months. So, yay! An example, the Snowdrop class that we're doing on Tuesday, you will be able to view the live class replays in May. So, yay! You want to see inside? Sure. And that's also giving people that don't want to take the classes, it's a lower tier that they can watch the live class replays, but it's giving 6 months exclusivity, I can't say that word, to the members, of course. So right now, released to that new tier is the Necessary Clutch Wallet from March and the Betty Bowler bag from April. So they get to see everything 6 months after the fact. All right, so I used the Michael Miller Sparkly. I don't know what it's called. And I did my typical zipper overlay. I didn't put a slip pocket in this one. It's just, it's a really small bag, but I mean, you can definitely do it. I probably won't be doing a slip pocket in the next one either, or in the class one either. One thing I did opt to do, which I will encourage you guys to do as well, it just made things a lot easier, is I went a double zipper pull closure. And the reason I've done that is when you go to put these on, that makes it so these ends stay shut. Whereas if you have only one zipper pull, you're going to have to be finagling the teeth to stay together before you put this on. So I figured, and I was right, I think, when you have the two pulls in, then those ends stay closed, and it just really made things super easy once we put on those these fancy little end things here. So yay. But yeah, it's super cute. I'm hoping, actually, I've already had a few people on my business page saying I'm going to be coming to the fair to check out that bag, so hopefully they will buy it. Do you guys want to know what I priced that bag at? Do you? So that bag with hardware, interfacing, and all that. Remember, I'm talking Canadian. Hi, Ophelia. Talking Canadian funds. Cost me $53 to make. That's including a percentage of shipping, that from getting the supplies in, to the cost of the hardware, the cost of the vinyl, the cost of the lining, the cost of the interfacing, all that. Cost me $53 to make this bag. And my retail price for this bag is $160 Canadian. So that is how I price it. So yeah, it was like $53.35 is what I came to, and I multiplied it by 3, and that is how I came up with my price for this. And that's how I do my pricing. In my area, as long as the price stays under $200, I find things sell well. You have to know your area a little bit more. Yeah, so this one I'm hoping will do really well. 160 is the lower end price for my bags. My bags are usually typically between 175 and 185. So, oh yeah, Wanda, you could totally do that. You could add a slip pocket too, but it's going to be such a small slip pocket. Like, I don't even think you could have a slip pocket in there. Like, look how tall my phone is compared to this bag. Like, and that's usually what you use a slip pocket for. So my phone's actually, if I was using this bag, will have to go in like this or flat. So the slip pocket, I think, would have kind of been redundant in this bag, because I have a gigantic phone, mind you. Oh, look at, you can see my little Benny. There's my Benny picture. So yeah, so that's why I decided not to do that. But yeah, definitely a second zipper pocket. I will tell you the sizes I did my zipper overlay when we get there. Any other questions before we get started? Does it help that I help you guys with what I price things at? I know I always sound like I am I sound so preachy and naggy, but I don't want anybody underpricing their bags. I don't. So know your area. Said when I was on my domestic machine, I used to multiply. I was also a beginner at that point. I used to multiply my cost times 2. Mind you, they would still be quite expensive, because at that point in time, I didn't have a business, and I didn't get a lot of my stuff for wholesale like I do now. But yeah, so minimum times 2, strongly urge times 3 your supplies cost. So, and we will see if it works. If this bag sells this Sunday, then we know I had it priced right, or maybe I had it priced too low. I don't know. But I'm at a sweet spot for my bags. What I ended up doing in the new year, like the last couple of years, I've increased how I do it. Last year, I ended up having my bags into the 200s just for January and February, and everything stopped selling. So that's where I knew I hit the limit of my market here, because $200 people weren't in it. If I mark something for $199, all over it. Go figure, hey? So yeah, so you figure out what your market is. I don't know if my way is right. It is just what works for me, and I just want to share with you guys what works for me. Okay, let me name who I have here. I have Annie, Kathy, Cynthia, Dawn, Diane, Lauren, Lexi, Nicole, Ophelia, Rhonda, Cheryl, and Wanda. Am I missing anybody that is here? I don't want to ignore you. Are you guys happy that you'll be able to see the Tuesday live so long class replays, even if it is 6 months after the fact? That doesn't change your membership at all. It all becomes part of your current membership. You get that new tier in there because it's a tier that's below yours. So just an added bonus for you guys. So I know that you don't all have time to do both Tuesday and Thursday. Actually, do you know what? There's only about 10 of you that aren't in our Tuesday class as well. So we're doing pretty good there. Dawn, that's completely different. When I do a leather Brooklyn, it's all based, like if I did leather, it's all based on what the price of the hide was. So you would have to put, like say your hide was $300 and you used half of the hide, say, I would add, like, okay, so we're taking my 160 base price, okay? I'm just saying if it were me. So it's 160 base price. I'm getting a hide, and it's going to take, say, half of the hide. So a $300 hide, it's going to be $150 into this bag. I would take off the $20 I charge for my outside vinyl, so that brings the base price to $140, and then I'm going to add that $150 on top of that $140. So what is that? $290? So yeah, that's about right. Yay! I'm trying to please everybody. So now I think that there is a tier out there that will please everybody. So we started, I'm going to admit, I was getting a little sad because we did lose 3 of our corn members, but they did message me and they did tell me that they would be coming back after the Christmas season, which I know it's a busy season for everybody, but I was so sad to see them go. But yeah, I gained 4 more members, which is really good. So as well, so that kind of keeps me going and keeps me confident. So yeah. Dawn, on your tags. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys my tags from Market. Now, when I go to Market, I like to give the friends and family discount at Market just so people think they're getting a really good deal, which they are. I have such special handwriting. So this is my tag. I don't know if you guys can see this. So I have what it's called. I have my retail price of $160, and then I have my market sale price of $150. Dawn, if yours is leather, I would write leather on the top or somewhere in capital letters, even highlighted, so people know it is leather. You love my hair? Thanks, Kim. It's really dark. So I have an amazing hairdresser. Her name is Christina. She is a young lady. She's friends actually with one of Riley's best friend's wives, or she is one of Riley's best friend's wives. And a year ago, she's only like 30. She actually opened her own hair salon, so I'm so proud of her. And my hairdresser actually moved out of town, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to a young person. And yeah, she's great. My problem was I would get my hair dyed to the perfect color that I wanted, which is a little bit lighter than this, and then within 3 weeks it would fade right back down to my strawberry blonde. So she taught me that if we go this super dark auburn, in 3 weeks it's going to fade down to that perfect sweet spot of a color, and then that color lasts me like 3 months before it starts going right to my natural strawberry blonde again. So it should be perfect for when I go to Indonesia in 3 weeks. Okay, so we got Kim in there. Did I mark you down, Kim? I did not. There we go. Awesome. Any questions about the new tier? Again, nothing you guys have to do. You get automatic access to that. So anybody that isn't in the Tuesday classes, once those classes hit 6 months, then you will have access to the Tuesday class replays. So, yay. That's right, Wanda. It is also our living wage. It is important to pay ourselves versus someone that is just a hobbyist. Exactly. But do you know what? Even as a hobbyist, work is just as good and you've put in just as much time. Yeah, how many days? Let me look. Let me count. I gotta look at my calendar. I'm really bad at math. 1, 2, 3. How many sleeps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 3, 2, 4. 25 more sleeps. I'm getting so scared. 25 more sleeps, and I'm headed to Bali on the 28th. So, yay. I have completed the membership side surprise tutorial that is only going to be available to members for those 3 weeks that I am away in December. So you guys get the sneak peek as reward for hanging in there. And then it will go live on Boxing Day to the public side. So I am super proud of this. It's something super different. I'm really looking forward to knowing your opinions when you do see it. I can't tell you what it is because it's a secret. It'll be a secret until it releases the first Tuesday of December, and it will be available to all members. So you'll have your tier stuff that you have, so you can work through any of the projects that you didn't do, get all caught up, and then you'll have this really cool one, which is brand new to me even, so I hope you like it. All right, we're already 20 after. Are there any questions before we get started? Again, I want to get through the cutting and then at least explain or show one of each of the connectors so you guys can get everything edge painted for next class. Next class will be fusing interface, or homework will be fusing interfacing, and doing your edge painting if you're doing edge painting. You love my videos on oiling my machines? They were terrible. You know how hard it is to do that? Oh my goodness. Honestly, some of those videos were just videos I had sent to our friends who have bought Titan machines the last little while. So I figured rather than filming them over and over, I should put them on the channel. So that's what I did. So if they seemed weird as I was talking, it's because I was doing a Facebook video strictly for the people I was helping. So I just kind of downloaded it and then and then went from there. So, all right. So changes, I'm going to do again. Changes that I made from the pattern, just so you guys are aware. Connectors, I have edge painted them all. Now, I only used 1-inch hardware. I didn't have 3/4 inch. I will always change it to 1-inch hardware. So my connectors here are a little bit smaller than, say, in the pattern. Still worked out, and that's because I had to fold that back piece down further so it would be 1 inch. So I think they actually turned out super cute, still being just little itty bitty connectors, whereas in the pattern the connectors come down to like here. I actually like how they go up on the fold like that, so that worked out well. I used 1-inch swivel clasps here. This is where it calls for 3/4 inch swivel clasps. Now I'll show you how I altered the pattern piece for this, okay? So the way we end up edge coating it and everything, the way I alter the pattern piece, it works perfect for 1-inch hardware. And I just use the 3/4 inch pattern piece. So the way we do it gives enough extra to accommodate the 1 inch. So yeah. If you're using 3/4 inch, you may have to make these a little bit smaller if you're doing it the way I am, because it ended up working out perfectly for my 1 inch. And again, I used my 1-inch hardware for this D-ring as well, so we adjust the size of that. Other things I did different was a double zipper pull I explained earlier. I found it just helped a headache, because when we go to put these on, if you have a zipper pull going one way like in the pattern, your teeth are apart right here, and then you got to make sure they're lined up perfectly, and I know I would fail at that, and I would just want to throw the bag across the room. So having a double zipper pull, when you pull the two into the center, then your ends stay closed. So it is just so much easier, trust me, because these things here are the hardest part of the bag, I found. The bottom, I sew on the oval bottoms different as well, mainly because oval and round bottoms are my kryptonite. They make me cry, but I did find a way that make me cry a lot less. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I do them so it's not so cry-worthy when you're doing oval or round bottoms. So we will be doing that different there. The other thing I did different from the pattern is in the pattern, the turning hole isn't in the bottom of the bag, it's in the lining side. I didn't like that either. So we will be leaving our zipper pocket bottom open, and we are going to be leaving the entire bottom of the lining open to turn it through. That is going to save your arms, especially if you're like me and have carpal tunnel. When it's a bag this small, it is sometimes really, really hard to turn through, especially when you do it all vinyl like I have. And I'm using glitter vinyl in my class bag, so I want to make it as easy as I possibly can. So the bottom, we're going to leave pretty much completely open, and then we're going to pull that bottom through our open zipper pocket bottom, and we will be sewing the oval bottom on that way. It's not hard at all. You guys will love it, I promise. Is that it? That is all that I changed. Any questions about that before we get started? I don't believe we're already 25 minutes in. Oh my goodness. I'm dry. Okay. For those of you that aren't in the Tuesday classes, you're gonna love it. Dave installed my overhead camera. I have no more shaky table, no more shaky camera because it's hanging from the roof. I will show you as soon as I find my mouse. Ta-da! The only thing is now you get to see like the markings on here, but that's okay. I'm happy with it, and I think the view is great. I think you guys can see everything a lot better. And look, it's not shaking because the camera is up here, whee, up at the roof. It's hanging from my roof. It's exciting. All right. Oh, I know another thing I did different. Go back to my face. So the pattern calls for fusible foam. I do not have fusible foam. I won't lie, I do not like fusible foam. I don't find fusible foam sticks very well when you go to turn it. It pulls away worse than Decavol-Lite, I find. So in place of the fusible foam, because it's installed in a way where you can't sew it in, so you either have to glue it or fuse it. I didn't like any of that. I didn't like the idea of either of that. So for that part, I used EB Fuse Heavy, or you could use Decavol-Lite. That's what I used in this bag, and it worked perfectly. So if you want to use fusible foam, go right ahead. But I found that EB Fuse Heavy was perfect. Decavol-Lite would be perfect too, as long as you get it to fuse really well, and I think it'll just help things a lot better. So that's the only other thing I changed. Man, I changed a lot. I'm sorry. Okay. We ready to get started? I'll just grab all my stuff. All right. So I've actually already cut my EB Fuse heavy pieces because I cut them at the same time as the last one. I accidentally cut 4, but that'll be homework to cut your interfacing, of course, and fuse it to the bag. So I'll put that aside for now. All right, so I'm doing this one a little bit different. I'm actually going to do it in a cotton exterior, where the last one I did was vinyl. And I think it's going to be nice. I am going to actually, with my cotton, I want it to have a little bit more, I don't know the word I'm looking for, vinyl feel to it. So rather than using EB Fuse Light or SF101, I'm actually going to use EB Fuse Medium to interface my exterior cotton pieces. If you're using vinyl, you don't have to use a woven interfacing at all on it. You'll just be putting your foam or EB Fuse Heavy or Decavol-Lite interfacing centered on it. So this fabric was gifted to me from a friend, and I've just been waiting to use it, and I think it's just going to be super adorable in a Brooklyn. So let's get her cut. So this is where I am going to end up having to fussy cut, and I know that I want Belle and her prints right here to be in the center of my bag, and so I'm going to end up centering this right down, and right where my fold line here is, that is like the center of this piece. I can kind of fold it in half, like so. So I'm actually going to fold this wrong size together to be able to cut this. Oopsies. Again, if you're using vinyl, go ahead and draw it on the back of your vinyl. If you are fussy cutting, go ahead and fussy cut it. But I am going fussy cut right there. This is the piece I'm going to do right here, maybe. I think so. Okay. Make sure the little notches in the pattern piece, if you're using directional fabric, you want them pointing upwards, like so. That is the top. If you accidentally do it wrong, it's not the end of the world because we have an overlay over the bottom. So I'm going to put this, I think that will be good. I like to use my gator hair clips sometimes just to hold it in place, especially when I'm fussy cutting on the fold so it doesn't shift. Coco says hi. Oh, I forgot to ask, who is cutting along with me today? I should ask before I get ahead of the game here, just so I know how fast I need to go. Who is cutting along with me? Okay. Diane is, Lexi, Kim is trying. How are you feeling, Kim? Cynthia is, yay. Okay, so I will ask that favor of you guys. If I end up moving too fast, get my attention and tell me to slow down, okay? Okay, I'm gonna write down, yay, so many of us. Okay, so we got Dawn. I'm just gonna mark down here so I know who's all cutting. Dawn, Diane, Kim, Cynthia, Rhonda, Cheryl, yay, so many. Lauren is watching, okay? All right. So again, if you're using cotton, go ahead and cut it like I am. If you're using your vinyls, you can be drawing it out on the back. That'll be perfect. So that's going to be the center highlight. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. Now I got to do it again. I'm going to do the same orientation. Which way did that one go? This little guy down here. Okay. Kathy is too perfect. This gets me excited. Kathy. I'm so not used to using cotton as my exterior, can you tell? I just think this will be a perfect young girl bag, and I think having the Beauty and the Beast fabric could be super sweet for either that Disney fan or a young girl that's like 12 or 13. I think it would just be adorable. That's what my hope is. So again, I'm trying to think of things that will sell at market. This one will be going to market until my last market of the month, because we'll be done the class at that point. Again, making sure I have it going the right direction. What do you guys think of this camera and this view? Is it like way better? Oops. Your feedback is everything for me. I was watching the Necessary Clutch Wallet video, and man, we've come a long way in such a short 6 months. Like, it's crazy. I'm learning so much. And across the bottom. I'm glad you're feeling a little better, Kim. I've been thinking about you a lot lately. Okay, so that's all you need for your main exterior fabric. How many bags do I have for market? I had gotten up to, after last month's class bags were done, I was up to 30, but then I sold 6 bags last week. which I was happy for, but at the same time going, no, I need the stock. So now I have 25, 26, including the snowdrop and like the 2 clasp bags from here. So I'm back up to 26. And then I'm doing the new blue Cala pattern that is launching on Tuesday. So I won't have that one done probably for this fair, but I'll have it done for the fair that I have a week later. So that'll kind of replenish some of it there. Okay. Okay, so everybody let me know when you are done with those 2 pieces. Yay, Lynn, welcome. Lynn is one of our new members. You guys probably will recognize her from the channel. She is often participating in the public lives. Lynn, we are so happy to have you with us. Are you cutting along with us today, Lynn, or are you just watching? Okay, so I can put this fabric away. We all know Lynn, she's an old friend already. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys this quickly. You'll be doing this for homework. So these are the main panels. Mine are cotton, and as I said, your cotton pieces you do want to back with a woven interfacing. I'm actually going to use a EB Fuse medium on these, so it's a little bit heavier than the SF101 or EB Fuse Light, just because I want to give it more of a vinyl feel. Then for homework, you will do that. If you're using cotton, if you're using vinyl, you don't have to do any kind of woven interfacing. And then on the back, you're going to take your foam or Decovil Light or EB Fuse Heavy like I'm doing, and you will cut your centers. I'm just showing you how to put these on. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to show you. You'll cut your bottom centers. And this is why you can't use sew foam, is because there's no way you can sew it on, and I do not like fusible foam. So I've already got my center on here, and then you would match up those centers. Oh, cut it here. So I already cut mine because I cut too many before. And you match up that bottom center, and that is where you are going to fuse this on like that. So it's not going to cover everything. You want to make sure that the notches are up, so the narrow edges have the notches, and that is how you are going to fuse that stabilizer on here, whether you're using foam, EB Fuse Heavy, or Decovil Light. I strongly recommend using EB Fuse Heavy or Decovil Light for this, just because I do not have fond things to say about fusible foam. And I don't want to glue things in either. That just wouldn't be good. So that'll be homework, doing the interfacing on that. And that is all we need for our main fabric. This is so fast to cut out. So while we're working on this piece, let me just kind of get organized here. We are going to move on to, we're going to do the lining, and then we will get into the accent vinyl. So I'm using the purple again. I know I just used it in the dice bag, but it just goes perfect. Oops, come back here. So we need to cut 2 lining pieces. So I'm gonna, because I don't have a directional fabric, I'm gonna go ahead and do my trick of cutting 2 at a time. Again, if I'm moving too fast, please do stop me. So I'm gonna fold this in half, right sides together. I'm gonna make sure that this fits on the fold. I got more than enough space. I can probably take some back. And then I'm going, so here's the fold, and I'm going to fold this in half again, so I have a double fold. And this enables me to cut 2 pieces at the same time, just to make things a little bit faster. You put the fold along there, so you can see I got 1 fold, 2 folds, so that means I'm going to cut 2 pieces at the same time. Hi, Anna. Kim, yes, you will still need the Decovil Light in that center part using canvas. You probably won't need to interface it with a medium woven interfacing though. On my vinyl bag, I used EB Fuse Heavy, which is like Duckable Light for that pattern, for that main interfacing. Otherwise, it's going to collapse in on itself, and you want to have that nice boxy shape. Does that make sense? It really does help make that shape and makes it so it folds in really good. So, okay, so I'm going to cut my 2 lining pieces. Ooh, I went way off there. I meant to change my rotary cutter, and I did not. Come on. Darn you, dull rotary cutter. Perfect sense. Awesome. And you know, if you ever second guess it, you can always shoot me a message on Facebook or email me. I'll help you. How was work today, Anna? I know you're working at your other job today. You had to go into the outside. Okay, so those are my 2 lining pieces done. So again, homework will be to fuse these with a medium woven interfacing. Unless you're using a canvas, then you don't have to worry about that. It's pretty sparkly, sparkly. Where did I put my other pieces? There they are. So I'm going to keep these all together. Same pattern piece. All right. I need another bin. All right. Let me get my cut list out because I should have it. Would you guys believe that this bag is going to go together just like a pouch? It shocked me. Oh, so I will be doing everything as per handbag size. So keep in mind the measurements when I say are for the handbag size. If you're doing the traveler size, make sure you follow along in the pattern so you know what size you're cutting, okay? Because I'm going to forget to tell you those sizes. I know it. Okay. Panel 7.5. Okay. So the other thing we need to do with the lining is cut our 2 zipper pocket pieces. I'm probably moving too fast. I will slow down. You guys tell me when you're all done there and I will move on to the next. You do that trick too, Lynn? Awesome. See, that's a treat about being in classes, Lynn. I don't think I've ever done cutting on camera before. Where did I put my pen? There it is. I didn't check. I'm walking in circles. Just ignore me. Oh, I got enough. Yay! Anna, 25 more sleeps and I'm off to Indonesia. I'm scared. I'm so scared. And if any of you members are new and didn't know, Anna and I are planning a trip together to Florida at the end of February, so hopefully we can get there. We're gonna get there. We need our girl trip. So exciting. Anna gets to babysit me because I don't know how to travel. Indonesia is my first overseas trip. Thank goodness I have my loving sister-in-law who can babysit me and her family while we're there. Her family's from Indonesia. So that's good because I don't know what I'm doing. And then when we go to Florida, I have Anna to babysit me. So I'm well taken care of. Give everybody about another 3 or 4 minutes. I do want to get the cutting done so I can show you how to do those connectors because I really need them done for next week. Oh no, Ophelia, darn those internet issues. We still see you there, it's okay. What time is it in Australia right now? I am in good hands, I hope, Cynthia, yeah. Hey, 2 more minutes. I still don't believe it's snowing. I'm so sad. My maple tree, all of the leaves have fallen off. They were all on the tree 2 days ago, and then yesterday we had a cold snap and it got windy and they all fell off the tree. Kaylin's in Vero Beach, Florida. Where are we going, Anna? I don't remember. Orlando? And then we're also going to visit our friend Melissa. Melissa of So Yours. She lives about an hour outside of Orlando. Cheryl's ready for the next step, okay? So I'll give it 1 more minute. We only have 2 more pieces, believe it or not, to cut for the lining. So as I'm not making a traveler, I will not know how big to make the zipper overlay if you're doing the zipper overlay like I do. So you'll have to gauge that for yourself. Diane is ready. Oh yeah, Kim, rub it in. We're minus 11 Celsius. Cynthia is ready. Okay, so now we are going to cut our zipper pocket lining pieces. So for this one, I am cutting them. I'm going to just fold it in half. We want it to be, I'm going to cut 2 at the same time. So I want them to be 7 1/4 inches wide and just slightly over 6 inches deep for the handbag size. So I'm just going to, I know my piece is kind of wacky here. I got it cut there. So I'm just going to cut 7 1/4 wide and 6, probably about 6 1/4 inches long. And this is with my fabric folded right sides together. This is how I'm cutting both at the same time. Oop, what's behind there? I'm running over something. There we go. Okay, I'm going to even it up. So again, I'm making sure I'm 7 1/4, 7 1/2-ish. It doesn't have to be exact. Wide. And now I'm going to trim this right down to 6 inches here. And that is going to give me my 2 pocket pieces. I cut them both at the same time. You can always leave them as one piece too and cut them later when you do the zipper. So those will need to be interfaced with your woven interfacing as well, unless you are using canvas. Oh, then you're 1 1/2 south of Orlando. All right. So I'm going to put those aside. Go down the list and mark it off. We are done our pocket panel. So that is our main. That's how fast. That was the main and our lining all cut up already. So now we're on to our vinyl. I'm using Black Dice Glitter Vinyl from Galaxy Customs because I love it. Okay. So for those of you that are new, I always draw my pieces onto the back of my vinyl. That way, if I don't have enough vinyl, I can redraw my pieces to have less waste, if that makes sense. I like mine to be nice, and I like to use up as much as I possibly can. How much is it this way? No, not big enough. I'm hoping I have enough of this because I don't think I have any more glitter vinyl. I think I have enough. Okay, I better have enough. Otherwise, I'll be recutting this. So we're going to start by doing our 2 handles. Now, I have converted my handles to 1-inch hardware. Is the Traveler 9 1/2? For the pocket panel, they say to cut an 11 by 12 piece. The travel size is a lot bigger than the handbag size. Like, there should be actually a size in the middle as well. So yeah, they say pocket panel 11 by 12 inches. And of course, then you would cut the 12 inches in half for how I do the zipper pockets. So do 11, 2 pieces at 11 by 6 inches. Does that make sense? 11 by 6 inches for the traveler. Okay, so I'm going to do the handles again for the handbag size. I'm doing a 1-inch handle. So I will be cutting these. I am going to just do my 24-inch ruler. The pattern says 26 inches, but I always just do 24. I find that that is the perfect length for an arm bag and a shoulder bag. If you need more, you can do the handles to whatever length is your preference. This is completely up to you how you do it. So I'm going to cut these 4 inches by 24 inches. So that's one handle. And I'm going to mark my 2-inch line in the center for when I go to make the handles. Coco says hi. I better have enough here. If I don't, I'm going to wing something. I might have some in my scrap bin. We'll see. Do my second one and mark my 2-inch line. Is anybody going to Sew Expo in Florida this weekend? I wish I was. And I like to write handle. Handle. Okay. Next, we are going to do our bottom panel. That's going to fit nicely right there. So I'm going to draw my bottom panel. Again, I'm excited to show you guys how I got over my fear of an oval bottom. I've probably showed you before. I used to avoid them like the plague. And I will be adding purse feet as well. I will show you guys the measurements I came up with for that. I didn't look to see if the Traveler had purse feet, but I can still do it. Bottom. Lexi, I'm going to go next year. Next year is in September. September 22nd to 24th. And I plan on going. Oh, I lied. We will need to cut one more lining piece because we need to cut a lining bottom. I got ahead of myself. So we'll bring that out again here momentarily. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do, again, I'm doing all the vinyl only pieces. If you are doing this in woven, make sure you're following the instructions on how to do this. Make sure you're cutting the pattern pieces because they have woven only pieces and they have vinyl only pieces. I'm doing the vinyl. So make sure you're doing the right ones. Okay, so I'm going to draw my vinyl accents. We need 2 of those. That's one side. That's my other side. I apologize. I know with it hanging over my head, you're probably seeing, at least I don't have any roots right now because I just had my hair done, but you're going to see the top of my head sometimes as I look over. I tell you, it's just such a better setup with this new table and this overhead camera. I'm just over the moon happy. There's one. Is this going to fit right here? Yeah, it will. And I'm going to draw my second one. How's everybody making out? We should all try to go next September. Then we can all meet up. That would be fun. Okay, so those are my accent panels. Doing good? Okay, again, stop me if I'm moving too fast. I said this pattern is so incredibly easy to cut out, and there's minimal pieces. It goes so fast. I miss, oh, there we are. Okay, Dawn is done. I'm gonna let everybody catch up because we're getting to the connector parts. Now, I am not doing a crossbody strap on this. The way the crossbody strap goes on, and I was actually talking to Lauren about it as well because she has done this one many times and she usually leaves off the crossbody strap. And going by her advice, where the crossbody connector attaches, it doesn't seem to hold very well. It pulls away really easy. So I'm leaving them off. I don't like where they are, but I will show you where you will put them. I also came up with another idea of where you could put your crossbody connectors that would work, but it would be super, super thick. So the crossbody connectors will usually be on one side here and one side here, and they stick on the top of this boxy shape. So you'd have one connector here, one connector on this side, and then your crossbody strap. But just because of how this bag is shaped, because it's square, that just seems like, I don't know. I just don't think I don't think it would hold well, and Lauren's experience was it didn't hold well. But you could see where this is connected here. You could put a connector right here for the crossbody strap, and then you would stitch it on here, and then when you put this on, you'd be sewing through all those layers. But you're going to have your lining layer, your exterior layer, and your 2 layers for this connector, but you could have a D-ring sticking up here. Does that make sense? That I think would be a good and stable crossbody connector. The only thing you got to think about is you can't stabilize it with the rivet, because right here is actually that zipper. So you definitely don't want to be, it would be too thick for a rivet. So if you were doing that, that's what I would recommend. I mean, you absolutely can do it through the way it is in the pattern. I have never experienced anything with it, but for me, it just, in my head, seems like it just wouldn't be a very secure connector. Does that make sense? Again, what I say isn't necessarily the right way to do it. It's just the way that I like to do it. Cynthia, I agree September is a better month. Because I can go. I can't go in November. That's craft market season. That's why I didn't go this year. And I didn't have a passport. Well, I do now. Now that I have a passport, I could go anywhere. All right, give everybody another 3 minutes or so, unless you're done. Any questions about the crossbody connectors? Could you connect? You know what? Let me try that. Let me grab a crossbody strap, Lauren, and we will see how it holds up. That's a good experiment. Let me grab my snowdrop crossbody strap that I have done. So you're saying if we clicked it in here, let me grow it a little bit more. No, that's going the wrong way. Let's see what it does. Let me put this to face, and we will see how the bag behaves. Okay, so I have the crossbody there. Let's see how the bag, this would happen. So no, that wouldn't work. I mean, yeah, no, it wouldn't work because it makes the bag go upside down. I was almost thinking that was a brilliant idea, but no, it doesn't work. Another thing you could do is in the rectangular rings here, clip one on one side and then another on the opposite side, and that would work. See what I did? So you could use your rectangular rings for that. But yeah, no, the other way, that was funny. Good test though. I didn't know what it would do. So the answer to that question is no, you can't do that. All right, how's everybody doing? We'll give it another 2 minutes, and then I'm going to explain these connectors. That was a fun experiment, though. That's what I love about this group. It's a lot of fun. Hilarious. Check my phone. Have I got phone calls coming in? I don't know who's phoning me. No, it's just Dave. He's on his way home. I have not done the zipper overlay yet, Dawn. No. I am honestly waiting to make sure I have enough of this vinyl before I do the zipper overlay. Oh, no, Dawn, didn't do it. But yeah, my zipper overlay, I cut my inside piece, like... Where's the one I used? So my zipper overlay I will be using, oh, I'm not camera down. 1 second, wrong camera view. This is the one I'm going to be using, but I'm only going to be doing a 6-inch opening, and then the rounded edges on the top and on the bottom, I'm only going to have a 1/2 inch on either side. That's right, Kim. Okay, so we're going to move on. So I hope you guys can see this. So for my side connector clips, now the pattern piece you can see here and here, that's where we should have cut. What I did is I extended those lines out until they met, so we formed our triangles. And then these little in things where we were supposed to cut, I didn't cut into those either. So we have an hourglass shaped side clip connector. So doing it this way, this is with the actual handbag size piece. The way I'm doing it will make it so a 1-inch swivel clasp fits in here, and it's also going to give us the shape that we want for that connector. If you're doing it in cotton, you would cut it just as the pattern pieces are, and then you're going to be folding in the raw edges by 1/4 inch, and that's going to make it good for a 3/4 inch connector. Does that make sense? I don't like the folded in edge part. I really like edge painting, as you guys know. So now we are going to cut 2 of these with the pattern piece. So I'll show you that now. It should fit in here nicely. Yeah. So I'll draw in just 2, not the 4, because we're going to do something different. Just tracing that out. So that is how I adjusted the pattern piece. Does that make sense? It's because we're not going to be folding in the edges. That's 1. And that is my second one. Okay, now I'm hopeful. 1, 2. I want to cut a piece big enough that I'm going to be able to stick these onto it. So I'm not going to be cutting 2 more. Can I repeat that for the pattern piece, Kim? I'm trying to show it here. So I didn't cut my pattern piece, the corners off like the pattern says, okay? I extended that 1/4 inch seam allowance to bring them to points instead. And the reason I did that is because I'm not going to be folding in the edges. We're going to be stitching these together with a 1/4 inch and then trimming the seam It's going to be raw edge and we are going to edge paint it. But we need it to be the triangle shape. Because the way this is, when it's cut down, when you fold them in, you can see when you fold in all those edges, if you're using it the way the pattern is, it forms into that triangle shape. But that will fit with the folded one, it fits a 3/4 inch swivel clasp. The way I'm doing it fits a 1 inch swivel clasp. So if you're using a 3/4 inch, you may have to trim it up just slightly, but I will tell you how to do that when we get to the next part. Does that make sense? I also put it in the Brooklyn group on the Facebook page, what I did, if you need to see a closer up picture of that. Okay, so then I'm just going to kind of I'm just going to be cutting a square. Okay, so that one will fit there and this one will fit here. I'm going to draw that. It's going to be a box and this is going to be side connector as well. Just go with me for this. Just want to make sure that in this block that we're going to be cutting that you can fit 2 of these side by side. Okay? I know you think I'm crazy, but trust me. Okay, next we're going to take the vinyl handle connectors. Oh, you don't have edge paint? So Kim, I would recommend, or you can use, it's up to you guys if you want to do the edge painting. You don't have to. If you want to do it as per the pattern is really easy to follow with that. You're just folding in those edges and it's pretty much the exact same thing, except for it'll be for 3/4 inch hardware and no edge painting. So if you don't have edge paint, then I would go ahead and just follow the pattern with this part. And yeah, so what that would be is you would cut it as per the pattern pieces, and then you will be folding in all the edges by that 1/4 inch, like so, just like the pattern. And if you need a video on how to do that, Lauren has a Brooklyn video where she does it just like that. Oh, Anna says if you don't have edge paint, you can also use Sharpies. So that's a good tip too. I'm an edge paint queen. You guys know that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our, oh, and make sure that you are using, if you are using woven, that you make sure you're using the correct piece. So I'm using vinyl only, so this is good. So now for this one, I am going to draw out, it says to cut 8 vinyl. I'm going to only cut 4. So we're going to do exactly like we did with this one. So I'm going to draw out my 4. 1. See, that's what's great about this group is there's all sorts of different ideas. I love it. Wanda will like it because she'll see that we're using the Brandy Wanda method of closing this bag up. In the tutorial, I almost called it that, but nobody would understand but us. Sorry if you're seeing the top of my head, because you definitely are. Two. So again, you don't have to be doing any of these changes that I'm doing. You can definitely follow along in the pattern. It's very easy to understand. These are just how I like to change things up to my style. So that's what I teach. But when it comes to closing this bag, you will want to do it my way, trust me. Okay, so that's 4. Now we want to cut a square piece like this that is going to fit those 4. And I am guessing if I cut a piece about that big. 1, 2, 3, oh, maybe not. I need a bigger section. I can do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay. And I know this looks really weird when I'm doing, but I swear it will make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it just gets for really nice even edges for your edge painting. So this is for vinyl connectors. And I'm going to show you how to do these today this way, because I need you to edge paint if you're edge painting for homework. Okay, so those are our connector pieces done. Now we have to cut. Oh, okay, I'll slow down. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to catch up. I'm hoping I have enough. Yes, I should. I'm going to be using up all of this scrap glitter vinyl. This is good. Is everything making sense so far? I'm not confusing anybody too badly. I have a message coming from my goddaughter here. Aw. My goddaughter Alexa is getting married October 14th, 2023. So we get to go to Medicine Hat. Yay! Give everybody about 5 minutes or so. We're making perfect time here. Are you cutting the pattern connect or the paper or the vinyl? Give it another 2 minutes or so. Don't let me forget that I have to cut the lining bottom still. Dawn is done. Dawn, is this making sense? I know that you've made one before. Are my changes making sense? Are you liking the idea of the changes that I'm doing? I guess is more what I'm asking. Oh, your paper. Okay. How I cut the paper connector, did that make sense, Cynthia? If you're doing raw edge, of course. Rhonda's ready. Give it another minute. Your cat just ran away with your pattern piece. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Benny's not in here. Coco's up. Speak of the devil, now he's scratching at the door. Wanda says, for the connectors, I'm going to overlay the handbag size connector over the traveler size, then folding under the traveler size to match up to the height of the traveler and draw my curves. That'll work too. I love hacking patterns, as you guys can see. Again, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. Wanda, the way I'm doing it will accommodate the 1-inch hardware. It fits the 1-inch hardware perfectly if you're doing raw edge. If you're not doing raw edge and using the 1-inch, use the traveler hardware or the traveler connector pieces because it will accommodate the 1-inch. But yeah, that's a great idea. You have teeth marks now, hilarious. Okay, so next we need to draw out our bottom connectors. We're just going to do one piece. I got to fit it in here somewhere. I'll do it up here. No, I'm going to do it from the side here. 1.5 inches. No, I'm going to do 2 inches because I'm using 1-inch D-rings. If you're using 3/4 inch, you will do 1.5. I'm using 1 inch, so I have to cut it to 2. So I'm going to draw my line 2 inches by 6 inches. This will be cut down later to be 2 connectors, but we're going to top stitch them as one. And draw my center line. So this is the, I'm going to just call this the D-ring connector. And I do have enough that I can do my thingamabobber here. Oh, the connector for the handles, not the sides. I said I used the same ones, and all it did, I'll show you, Wanda, is it just made my connectors a little bit shorter, because if I had used like the same length, they would have come down here. But because I used the 1-inch hardware, it just meant I had to fold that opposite side down further, which just made a smaller connector. So you can definitely do it either way. If you want to have the big connector that comes down here, definitely do it the way you are doing it. But the way I'm going to do it, I just use the regular, and I use 1-inch hardware. It just means my connector is a little bit smaller. But I cut the same size as the pattern. I never have 3/4 inch hardware at all. Okay, so I'm going to draw. I know I want my zipper overlay. Again, for anybody new, you can find lots of zipper overlay templates, free ones online. I have templates from Sew Yours that I just absolutely love that Melissa sent me for my birthday. No, the D-ring connector. Oh, the D-ring connector is the same size for the traveler size. The D-ring connector on the traveler size is the size that I just did, the 2 inches by 2 inches by 6 inches. The connectors on the traveler size is different. It says 1.5 by 10 inches. So if you are using 1-inch hardware, you will want to cut those 2 inches by 10 inches. If you're using your 3/4 inch hardware, you will want to do 1.5 by 10 inches as for the pattern. So yeah, the bottom connectors on both sizes are both 3/4 inch as per the pattern, but I'm doing them 1-inch. Oh yay, Diane, did you get them from Sew Yours? Well, this is awesome. Okay, so for the handbag size, for my overlay, again, this is completely optional if you want to do this. I found that we only wanted this opening for the zipper to be 6 1/4 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. Oh, Coco does not like that dog. I'm going to just draw where those are going to be. So, and you'll see what I'm going to do with this. Line that up. So that's my zipper opening. And you can see my template is bigger than that. So I'm going to just draw to here from line to line. Okay. And I'm not going to draw this curvy line yet. I have my line lined up at the inside of this one, so I can draw, make sure it's nice and straight. Basis of my shape, and then move this inside part down to that line, and then you can go ahead and finish your curve up, and that'll fit inside your bag. So that is what you are going to cut out. Do you have vinyl to double up for the D-ring connectors? No, you do not. We will just be doing the D-ring connectors exactly like we do a regular connector. Oh, does it come with the overlay piece, Dawn? Just shows what I know, hey? Mine didn't come with the overlay piece. Maybe I have an older pattern? Good to know. Mine didn't come with it, but I printed this off like years ago, so maybe they updated the pattern. So So there you go. Check your pattern. See if you have that overlay piece. Mine didn't have it. So that's good news. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Because I want to get to those connector pieces. Because I got to show you guys what to do before we go. So go and cut out all of your vinyl pieces. Oh, it's the Lola. Well, if you have the Lola pattern, go steal that connector piece. Or not connector piece, overlay piece. Again, they're in many patterns, but you do have to sometimes adjust the size like I just did there to make sure it will fit within your lining. Don't think I'm forgetting any pieces. Does it look like I'm forgetting anything? I don't think so. Okay, so there's my handles. Oh, I didn't double my D-ring connectors. I doubled my side connectors. The side connectors is where the swivel clasps go. I'll show you. So this is the D-ring connector right here. I didn't double it. It's just done like a regular connector. This is the side connector where the swivel clasp was attached, and I have that doubled. These ones here, the D-ring connectors, were not edge painting, just these side connectors where the swivel clasp attaches. Does that make sense? So the D-ring is the one that comes off the bottom. The swivel clasp is the one that's connected to the side connector that we will edge paint. Why am I running over there? Strap connectors I am doubling. So I have my square drawn out here, which I will be doubling with my strap connectors here. Yes. And that is just like in the pattern, they do the same thing. So I have my side connector piece here. This will be, I will be gluing, or I will be taping these onto here. And these are my connector pieces. I'm going to be taping them round size together here and then cutting them out from there. That's what I need to show you guys before the end of class today. Strap connectors for your shoulder strap. Yeah. So that's what this piece here is for. So these are going to fit inside here, and you're going to see what we're going to do with that. It's just going to make it so we can cut them nice and even for edge painting. It'll make sense here momentarily. What is your square box connector? With this one here, this is what these are going to go in. So you've got to make sure you have a square big enough to fit those ones in. It'll make sense here momentarily what I'm going to do. Again, this is something that I do. This isn't in the pattern. It just gives us a really, really perfect edge for edge painting. I know too many connectors. Not making it complicated at all, Wanda. It keeps my brain sharp. No worries. I hope that made sense. And I won't forget to do my bottom. Okay, so there's my accent pieces done. Glittery. Put those over there for now. Okay, so I'll give everybody about 8 minutes to get this all cut out, and then I'm going to need your undivided attention when I show you what we're going to do with these connectors for the last half hour. We're making perfect timing, exactly what I wanted to get to today. Oh, and then everybody also cut your bottom out of your lining. Oh, thanks, Wanda. No, I'm perfect. I think. I'm very close to being short on my vinyl, though. Holy. I had just enough. Like, seriously. Just enough. I'm trying really hard to work out of my scrap vinyl bin. because I have a lot of it. And I told myself I had to start using it up before I buy more, even though I just placed a large $200 Galaxy custom order because I couldn't help myself. I was going through withdrawals. So thank you, Anna, for feeding my addiction. Just a tip for anyone cutting out the connector, cut around the connector so that the piece is cut away from the rest of your fabric. I don't understand that, Dawn. What do you mean around the connector? I don't understand. The way I'm going to do it is going to make it really, really nice and curvy. Trust me. That's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Yeah, Anna. Enabler. A little bit. Okay, there's my bottom. Oh, Benny, stop scratching. Okay. D-ring connector. Wonder if my goddaughter will let me be her flower girl. That would be funny. She was mine. I think it's only fair. So I have one flower girl that just had a baby. That's Dave's niece, Dave's sister's daughter. And then my other flower girl has just gotten engaged. I'm sad because I wanted her to marry Riley one day, but oh well. Okay, I'm going to use my little tool to get my perfect cutout here. It's hard to describe. You have to make a video for us, Dawn. I love this tool. This is from So Clever up here in Canada. It just makes cutting out that square almost perfect. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm down to the vinyl connectors here. How's everybody making out? Everybody following along? Is it all making sense? I find I can get around the curves pretty good as long as I use a rotary cutter. Not so much with scissors. I don't know why that is. I've always been a little more comfortable with the rotary cutter, I guess. Just be careful not to cut your fingers off. I've done that before too. Just the tip of it. Okay. That's one. Okay, my zipper overlay, my middle section here is 6 1/4. And this section, and this section are only a, what is it? Are 5/8 of an inch all the way around. 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch all the way around. And that will fit in the lining perfectly. So 6 1/4 in here, 6 or 6 1/4-ish. And don't make this any bigger than a 1/2 inch or 5/8 of an inch around for these borders. For those new, I do my linings different than most patterns because I do all my linings the same. Because there are a few new people in here, I will be sure to show you how I do them this class. Usually I make it homework because we know what we're doing, but because there are a couple new people, we have Lynn and Joanne, so I will definitely, when we get to that part, I will show you what I am doing. I think I showed how I do it in the Betty Bowler bag classes, if you want to take a sneak peek there. I also have a class for it in my Bagmakers 101 playlist as well. And the public side. 3. Okay. And I promise this is all going to make sense. Put those aside until I show you. And seriously, this is all I have left of that beautiful black dice vinyl glitter that I think Galaxy Customs is sold out of, sadly, right now. Okay, and I'm also going to go ahead right now and cut my lining bottom that I forgot. Okay, so I'll give everybody about 5 more minutes. Let me know when you're done. Here's my bottom. Where are you? Where's my bottom piece go? There it is. So homework for the bottom panel, the exterior bottom panel, will be also putting your Deckable Light or Peltex in there. You'd just be cutting it with your bottom stabilizer piece and then using it centered outside of the seam allowances. So that'll be homework as well. Interfacing is almost always homework. Just because we are all using different textiles, which will be using different interfacings, and yeah. And for the new people, when you're in the live class, if Diane, you absolutely can do a slip pocket if you're doing the travel size. It will fit. It just doesn't really fit well in the handbag size. So yes, definitely make it your own. And you guys know how to do the slip pockets the way I do them. So yeah. Anyways, if we do anything in class and you're unsure of it, I do my homework the day of classes. So I'll be doing the homework for this bag next Thursday. If you need extra help with it, please do let me know, and I will go live at 1 p.m. and I will do homework with you. So yeah, definitely let me know. If I don't hear from you, I don't do a homework class. Okay, so there's my bottom pieces done. All right. Then we're on to, oh, I better change my thread while I'm waiting here. I'll do that quickly because I need my black thread. Oh, and I need my lower chair. And that's perfect point, Diane. Thank you so much for bringing that up because I keep forgetting there's 2 sizes. All right. I'm going to ignore you guys for a second while I change my thread out. Which I should have done before class, but I did not. There's a black one. Oh, Diane, how is your second industrial doing? How is your Juki 1181 DNU, whatever it's called? Diane has a summer home. She flies south for the winter, and she got a second industrial. She got a Juki 1181. At home, she's got one like mine. Super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia, you absolutely could cricket the connectors if you know how to do it. Oh no, Diane, you don't like it so far? Is it way different than the Titan 1541? And in what way? I know it's a model step down. It's meant for light to medium fabrics, I think. Oh, you can't sew cotton on it. Even interface cotton you can't sew on it? That's bizarre. I wonder why. Maybe your tension is too high? Because you think you'd be able to, because it's a light to medium machine. Lauren, so whatever, has an 1181. I bet if you had any questions, if you shot her a quick email, she would be able to help you. I don't know much about the Juki 1181. When it comes to the Titan 1541s, I'm great. Or any 1541, I know these machines really well, so. Really, you can't either, Kim, sew cotton on it. I wonder why that is. That is so bizarre. But Lauren sews cotton on hers. Then again, she does do mainly waterproof canvas. Maybe that's why. Oh, you got the Juki 1541, Diane? It should be just like the Titan. It should be just like what you have at home. And should be able to sew interface cotton, no problem. I would think. What's my tension doing here? I gotta loosen it. I wish I could help more. Oh, my eyes are going. How does that look? That looks good. Oh, I thought you got the 1181. Huh. I would think it would be the same as, yeah, I phoned them just to see because, I mean, mine is the cousin to it, and I don't have problems with sewing cotton as long as it's interfaced. I'm just checking my tension, you guys. I apologize. Should have done this before. It's looking good. Okay. Yeah, give them a jingle and see. These industrials are sometimes hard to learn. Once you got it, you got it. All right, how's everybody making out? Yeah. Diane, sorry, I can't help more because I know it's a little bit different than what I have. Oh, I think my son got a ride home. That's not my car. Diane, if you want to troubleshoot it all tomorrow, just shoot me a message on Facebook or an email and I'll see what I can do. I don't know if I'd be much help, but I can try. Cynthia's done. Perfect. I'll give it another 2 minutes or so and then we're going to move on. Almost done. We're doing very, very good time today. This is my new favorite drink. Canada Dry Diet Cranberry Ginger Ale. I'm not a ginger ale person, but I'm like hooked on this stuff. It tastes like those cheap coolers that I used to drink in high school, but it's like ginger ale. See you next week, Kathy. Let me know if you have any issues. Oh yeah, cut your lining bottom, Don. Everybody cut your lining bottoms. Oh, Wanda says, what about the needle size? Can you use a smaller needle on it? Yeah, what size needle do you have? Are you using an 18? 18 is definitely my go-to. I'm going to round this one off a little bit more. Yeah, give that a try. Maybe it's a simple fix as that. That would be good news. I'm just going in and fixing some of my corners here. I'm waiting some of my curves. That's not bad. Give it another minute and then I'll need your undivided attention for this part. A 17. I primarily use an 18, so I don't know if there's a big difference between a 17 and 18. Maybe. So it's interesting to know that from brand to brand that they are that different, because I mean your Titan, you just ran away with it. You had no issues. Oh, Anna says she also would make sure you're using a Tech 70 size 69 thread on cotton. Tech 70? Yeah. Dawn's not cutting her bottom. Okay, we're going to move on. So what we're going to do is, this is where you can see we have those extra pieces that we cut out. I'm going to take some double-sided tape. You can do this on a domestic as well, because we're going to be sticking the double-sided tape outside of the seam allowances. We're going to be putting it right down the middle, making sure we're not going where we will be top stitching these. Here's my garbage can. I'm not used to this new table yet. And I'm just going to do one of each of these connectors with you, and then the rest we can do for homework. Now there's a van here. What the heck's going on? 2 different vehicles in my driveway. I don't know. Maybe this one's an Amazon order? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to take this, and on top of this side connector piece, or this extra piece of vinyl we cut, we're going to place them wrong sides together. Coco's going to lose her poop there just because somebody's in my driveway. You're just going to place that down like so. Mine's wanting to curve up a little bit, but that's okay. And same with the other side. And you want to do the same with these 4. Bye, Ophelia. Have a good day at work. Oops. Can I show you how to do this in the tutorial as well? I'm thinking that's an Amazon order. It's probably my wet wipes for when I do my... Oh my gosh, Coco. Yes, my Amazon order. I bought wet ones because that takes off paint that leaks on when you're doing your edge painting. If it kind of goes off kilter, that wipes it away nicely, and I ran out. So, okay, so you're going to stick all 4 of these on here. Make sure that there's space around them. So glad you could join us, Ophelia. I know that you were down in Australia, and I'm just so happy you're here. I'm going to put this a little further away from each other. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these to the machine, and we are going to top stitch them. These side connector ones, we're going to go around and top stitch them down with 1/4 of an inch top stitch for these ones, okay? So I'm actually just going to top stitch one of them. Usually if I had a little more time, I would go ahead and do 2 at the same time and then go ahead and cut them, but I want to cut one of each just to show you what we're going to do. For these smaller connectors, now there's 2 ways of doing this. I am going to go around them with a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, okay? Now, later on when we go to connect these to the bag, I'm going to stitch in that 1/8 seam allowance again following that thread. And that's what I prefer to do. I like the thick line of it it's going to hold. If you don't like to do that, you can do a 1/8 just at these top parts. And then around these curvy parts, you can do a 1/4 of an inch. Now, the thing that's going to make it hard for top stitching, if you use the 1/4 of an inch, is you can kind of see how these fold away from each other, but when we're going to top stitch it down, it's going to give us a nice edge for our edge painting. So yeah, so I actually really do recommend that you do the 1/8 of an inch, and then we will follow our 1/8 of an inch again later. I do follow it by hand cranking. I will totally show you what I do. It works. You can't even tell it's a stitch over a stitch, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to do one with a 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to do one of these with an 1/8 of an inch, and then I will do the other ones for homework. But I just want to show you, then we have one more step we need to do, and then we are done. Let me find my mouse. So let me put you over to Tiffany. Oh, look, I still have my sign up from the thing. You are dynamite. Okay. So I'm just going to do one. Usually I would do both at the same time. So 1/4 of an inch all the way around. We'll see how my machine likes glitter vinyl today. I think in my tutorial I said to watch your bobbin thread because you'll see both sides, but do you know what? You don't. I was wrong. Just make sure your top side is super nice. You can go one more. One more. It's weird, we never sew on cutting class. Bizarre. Now, if you are using 3/4 inch hardware and doing the raw edge thing, I would be using a 3/8 of an inch top stitch here, so your connector will be small enough for that. If you're using 1 inch hardware, use a 1/4 inch. It'll all make sense later, I promise you. Whoops. Not far enough, yep. Okay, so I would usually hop over and do the other one, but I'm not going to. I don't have enough time to do that and show you what I need to, so I'm just going to do the one right now. And while I'm at the machine, I'm going to do one of the other connectors too. Okay, so I'm just going to do one, and I'm doing these ones with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. These are small. You'll see me when it comes to corners. I like to hand crank so I have a little more control of where my needle is going to land, especially around the corners. So I can put my needle down, I can lift up my foot, place my needle where I need it to go, needle down, adjust my piece, do it again. You see me doing that a lot, I know. I don't do my top stitching super fast, because I always want it to look really good. Or as good as I can make it look. Okay, and that's one. So again, I would go ahead and I would do all 4 at the same time here, but I'm not going to do that right now. Does that make sense so far? So you'll see See how doing that 1/8 of an inch makes it so it sits nice and flush with the other vinyl? Whereas this one is done with 1/4 of an inch, and you can see how it kind of pulls away from the vinyl, but we're going to be trimming this one down, so that's okay. So I'll give everybody about 2 minutes to get one of each of those done, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Just keep me posted when you are done. Whew, now I'm warm. So again, you can completely do this as per the pattern. I just really like edge coating. And I like the look of edge coating. Oh, I'm sitting on my really low chair. Is it going to be cutting off my face? It's not bad. It's a counter height cutting table, so when I sit in this chair, I'm like a little kid sitting at the dining room table. Need a booster seat. Give it another minute. This 2 hours has gone fast. Holy moly. It's already 10 to 6. Crazy. Now you understand the connectors? Good. Perfect. I promise there's always a method to my madness. Okay, so I'm going to start with the side connector here. So I'm going to cut these two apart just so I can show you better. I would do this one for homework, so you'll do the other connectors for homework, of course. Now for the side connectors, we want to trim this up to as close as we possibly can to that top stitch line. So like a 1/16 of an inch away if we can, and that's going to make it so that 1 inch hardware is going to fit in there. Again, if you were using 3/4 inch hardware, that's where I think if you went 3/8 for this top stitch and then trimmed as close as you could to it, the 3/8 should fit in, or the 3/4 inch should fit in there then. So, and the reason we glued onto the back is so when we're cutting it, we're cutting them evenly and it's giving us a really nice edge to edge paint without having to have like even it out or anything. We're evening it out right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to cut as close as I possibly can. I might have to take this close to my face to see because it's black on black. Just like that. See how close I got it there? And we're going to do that around all sides. Don't move to the other connectors yet. You're only doing this with these ones. As close as you can. Like it's smaller than 1/8 of an inch away from the stitching. You like doing the connectors this way? Good. So I like to show you my hacks. I mean, you don't have to like what I like, of course, but I just really do like the look of it this way. And I find it a lot easier than working with the double-sided tape to fold them in. I mean, the double-sided tape, especially on a domestic machine, folding them in, I can only see that wreaking havoc with gumming up the needle and all that. So this takes away from that for sure. And I always take this nice and slow because this is going to be a piece that's kind of, it's kind of one of the center, or it draws the eye to the bag, this piece. So you want it to be nice. I might actually use my glitter top coat on this too. Ooh. Okay. So that means now I can go ahead and I have a beautiful edge to top stitch. I'm going to just double check. Where is my, I'm going to double check that my, oh, I'm going to use my fabric scissors. So we'll end up folding this in and sliding it through there. We're not going to do this right now. I'm just making sure it's going to fit. So you'll want to do this if you're doing it with a 3/4 inch, and then you may have to go in and take your top stitch in. You can see, look how perfect, like how well did that work out? It fits perfectly for that 1 inch swivel clasp, which makes me very happy. So now I got to get it out. They're not the easiest to put in there at the shape. but it does fit, and that's what we need. Okay, so you'll do the same with the other one. Now, with these connectors, so I'm going to just cut one out of there. So I'll do the other ones. All we're going to do with this one is we're not going to be cutting into this connector we cut already. We're just going to use it as a guide and cut right next to it to make these two pieces 100% even with one another. So I'm not cutting the already cut connector. I'm only cutting that vinyl on the back. And that gives us a really nice even edge because we're cutting it to match the shape of this connector. Let's take it nice and slow and go around. And the whole key to doing it this way is just getting that perfect edge to edge coat. And it's a perfect edge. See how it's all flush with each other? It's a perfect edge to even take a Sharpie or some fabric paint to if you wanted to. You guys like that? Oh yeah, alcohol wipes to clean up your gummed up needle works really well too. So you guys like this? I was scared that you guys wouldn't like my method, but I like it. Just like that. So you'll do that with all of them, and look how perfect that edge is for edge painting. It's nice and flush, nothing is overlaid. It is perfection. And again, you only need to have really good top stitching on the one side because the side you're not going to see. It's going to be against the bag. So do you guys like that? Is that you? I promised that it would make sense once we got into it. And I know it's not in the pattern, but okay. So for homework, all of your interfacing, these you're going to edge paint both of these, all 4 of these. You're also on your 2 overlay pieces. I got to cut mine a little better. I was a little messy. Just along these inside pieces, that is all you need to edge paint is along there. And again, you don't have to edge paint, but it is a raw edge. Oh, that's good to know too, Kim. That you always use a little machine oil on your needle and it really helps to not gum up. Perfect. So you'll edge paint both of those just on that part. And if you are doing a zipper overlay like me, you'll edge paint along here. Again, you don't have to edge paint these and around the outside, but I really love edge painting. So look, we got some sewing done this class too. That is amazing. All right, is there any questions about what we did today? Did everything make sense? How was the class? Do you guys have any feedback for me that I could have done better? Or was everything okay? Your feedback is the only way I can get better, so. I'm really not used to how red my hair is right now. It's really red. It's got to fade a little bit. Super red. All clear? Perfect. Makes sense? Awesome. Great class. Thank you so much. And Diane, I really hope you figure out your Juki. Everything now makes sense. That's why I said stick with me. It will make sense. And also, if you go and you watch the tutorial that I posted just for you guys, or for the membership side, it'll kind of give you that quick run through. I think it's 34 minutes or something like that. So you know how fast I do my tutorials. So it'll give you a quick run through so you kind of get an idea. Next week, we will be assembling the exterior pieces, and we will also do the lining zipper pocket piece. You're a bit rusty. Cheryl, you haven't been with us for a little while, have you? You've been here but haven't been here. Awesome. Great. So excited. And look, we actually did the full 2 hours. I love red hair. I'm a naturally strawberry blonde. Like the blonde in my hair here, that's my natural color. You can tell by my eyebrows. My eyebrows are strawberry blonde and the rest of me is like auburn. But this, in 3 weeks, it fades to a beautiful lighter auburn that I am going for. But if I don't do it this dark right away, it just washes away and fades way too fast. Lynn, what did you think? This was your first class. Is it everything you hoped for? Is it good? Are you happy, disappointed, anything? Or was it good? Did you enjoy it? Good night, Wanda. Good night, Lauren. Good night, Diane. All right, so again, you'll be able to rewatch this class. Lynn, you're new here, so you'll actually be able, you have access to all of the Thursday classes all the way back to the very beginning. So you can definitely go back and watch all those. There's hours upon hours upon hours of content there. Most of our classes are 8 hours long, and they're like 4 2-hour sessions. So yeah. Good night, Kim. Good night, everybody. I hope you have a great night, and I will see a lot of you on Tuesday for Tuesday's class, and the rest of you I will see on Thursday. I'm going to attempt to go live. I have a live scheduled to do the VIP draw for October, so we will see. We'll see how it's going. Good night, John Boy. Oh my gosh, Don, you did it yourself. Wow. You make me laugh. All right, good night, everybody.